I definitely just binge watched the entire season of Emily in Paris on Netflix today. So, bonjour friends. It is November 1st when I'm filming this video. It's officially Christmas the 1st, aka the beginning of the most wonderful time of the year. It's not only the most wonderful time of year in general, it's also the most wonderful time of year for beauty lovers everywhere because it's Sephora VIB sale time. And yes, I know, I feel like I just filmed one of these videos. They are happening more often than ever. I feel like it really used to be semi-annual, but recently has been bonus sale, bonus sale, bonus sale. Your girl's not complaining. My wallet is a little bit. But anyways, let's just get into all the juicy stuff. I've compiled a collection of my top tier gold standard VIB sale recommendations for you all. That includes all the juicy new products, tried and true, just everything under the sun. So if you're interested, just keep watching. So first I just want to start with the juiciest sale category, which in my opinion are eyeshadow palettes. I feel like that's the most fun, and I have a really juicy palette to recommend. This is the Natasha Denona bronze palette. It is stunning, sublime. I mean, just look at that. Look at those tones. Are you kidding me? This palette is beautiful. Excuse the appearance of mine. I dropped this palette sadly and salvaged it as best as I could. Really pressed down as much of the shadows as possible. But in general, like, it looks a little beat up. It looks a little dingy because I dropped it. But anyways, all that aside, this is the most beautiful fall palette ever in my opinion. This is all of the literal fall tones I would ever want or need. I know that cool tones are on the rise, but if I'm being totally honest with you, cool tones, I feel like on the edge with them, because while I definitely agree that cool tones can look really beautiful and glamorous if you nail them, the operative word is if. In my opinion, cool tones, at least for a warm toned gal like me, are a little bit more finicky. Like, you definitely have to work with them, figure out which cool undertones work best with you. And just in general, it's hit or miss. Like, sometimes it'll turn out really glam and sultry. Other times it can just make me look plain dead. Or like I smeared pencil over my eyes or dirt. It just can look a little dirty, dingy sometimes. And I feel like probably more of a user error, but just in general, that's why I still love warm tones so much, because they're just very great for a neutral gal like me, and also they're a lot less intimidating. They're always foolproof in my opinion. Personally, because I have warm undertones, I feel like I always look good in warm undertones, but obviously, like, take this recommendation with a grain of salt, because if you have more neutral or cool undertones, then you'll obviously prefer that. But because I'm a warm undertoned gal, I'm obsessed with this palette. I just think it's everything you'd ever want in a fall everyday look. Even though I tell myself I'll grab other palettes, I keep coming back to this palette because it's just so gorgeous. Like, in my opinion, this is what fall looks like in a palette. They look like beautiful burnt leaves. I love the rusty burnt fall colors, and also like to talk about the fact that this is a Natasha Denona palette, so obviously the formulas are stunning. They live up to the hype. They're so creamy and blendable. The shimmers are super pigmented and wabam, pow, one swipe pigmentation. They live up to that hype of being just so buttery smooth. Just put my finger into True Copper, which is one of my favorite shades. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this because, you know, I don't know how the focus is, but look at that. That was one swipe pigmentation. I did not pick up my hand, dip again. I didn't do anything. That pigmentation though, it's just insane. The formula definitely 100% lives up to the hype for Natasha Denona, but the problem I've always found is that it's never been worth it to splurge on a huge palette that's like $129. Most of her regular palettes used to always be $129, and I would never be able to justify splurging on it because I like collecting eyeshadow. I'm never gonna use up that entire palette. So in my opinion, dropping 130 bucks on a palette is just not worth it because I know I'm not gonna use it all. But these palettes have amazing value. So this is like her smaller palette. I believe it's like half the pan size of those giant palettes, which I'll put on the screen so you can see what it looks like relative. And relative to those palettes, this palette is cheaper and way better value. But like, obviously it's still expensive because it's Natasha Denona, but in my opinion, it's so much more reasonable. I'm so happy that she has this eyeshadow palette size as an offering because it's just a lot more accessible for people who can't afford dropping like that much on one palette. And again, sorry, I can't stop staring at how beautiful that swatch is. In general, the value of this palette is amazing. I think you really get the bang for your buck, and especially for me as a neutral gal, I can and love to use every single shade in this palette, which is really rare for me. That is a gold standard palette if I can do that. Even when I have a lot of palettes I like, it's because I like 2 mattes or like 2 shimmers from a palette. But this palette, I love every single shade. Granted, you will get a similar bronzy look, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having a bronzy look have different nuances, because in general, bronzy looks are what I go for in the fall, especially. I mean, in general, but also especially in the fall, because this is just fall in a palette. These are the colors of leaves, and everything about it is just so gorgeous. It's perfect for creating everyday, shimmery, beautiful fall looks, and also for more glam fall looks. But in general, this is fall in a palette, and I have just been loving this for every day. I used to be obsessed with the Tartelette Toasted palette. I'll put it on the screen. This is basically that palette, but like elevated times 50,000. This is like the Emily in Paris version. Like, she's in Paris now. She's elegant and chic. She's meeting all the cute French boys. She's eating croissant. She's sophisticated now. Like, this is Emily in Paris, and that Tarte palette was like when she was back in Chicago. No hate towards Chicago or America in general. I'm just trying to say, like, this is like the more elevated big sister sophisticated version, just in terms of like the formula being a billion trillion times more sublime. So creamy, so pigmented. It blends out seamlessly. I mean, it really lives up to the hype. Like, the mattes are super buttery, creamy, smooth. The shimmers are 1 swipe opacity, 1 swipe pigmentation. They're so gorgeous. For me, this is the only format of Natasha Denona palettes that really justify the price, and so I love the value. I love the formula, and the color scheme is just everything. This is a bronzy gal's dream. I mean, this is fall in a palette. So festive and pretty. Really recommend you get this palette. I just think it's so beautiful, and I can't stop using it. And if you have yet to try Natasha Denona's formula, really get this palette, because this is the way that you'll be able to try it and not break the bank. Okay, so I know I just went on a whole spiel about how I would never splurge and spend like 130 bucks on an eyeshadow palette. This is a little bit contradictory to that, but if you want one juicy palette to splurge on, one big treat yourself moment, something that's very unique, out of this world, will make you feel like a royal queen, Pat McGrath, okay? This is the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction palette. I am sure you've heard of it. This was my first ever Pat McGrath palette purchase. I believe it was from last year, but it is still to this day the most beautiful eyeshadow palette in my collection. It really stands out. This is basically my special occasion palette. I mean, first of all, the packaging is so luxurious. It really makes me feel like a fancy schmancy lady, and I use this for any special occasion I have. I wore it to all the weddings I went to, just anything fancy ever. I love popping on one of these shimmers. These shimmers are out of this world. It's these 4 shades especially that really just put this palette above any other palette. I'm sure you've also heard about Pat McGrath's eyeshadow formula, but if you haven't, she has a very unique duochrome eyeshadow formula that is just amazing, like mind-blowing. It is unlike anything else. I'm swatching one of these colors right here. It's like a duochrome pinky green, but it is so beautiful. I don't know if you can see any of that or if my lights were blocking it out, but this color is so gorgeous. I will be honest with you. I know when someone's wearing a Pat McGrath color. When I see a picture on Instagram and I see the lid and I'm like, wow, that color is out of this world, I know it's a Pat McGrath. It has to be really insane for me to know that, because if I'm being totally honest, a lot of eyeshadows all just blend together, no matter like high-end, luxury, whatever. But the exception is Miss Pat McGrath. She knows how to make extremely unique shadows. These duochromes are out of this world. They just give you such a gorgeous, elevated eye look. You look very editorial and runway, and it's such a luxurious experience. Formula is sublime. It is very unique and out of this world, and honestly kind of worth it because of how beautiful it is. I will never stop using this palette. I still pull it out for any special occasion. Like, I will always think about it because it's just that stand out in my collection. But in general, if you're also a neutral lover like me, but you want to branch out with something juicy, the Bronze Seduction is just perfect because it's still neutral and bronzy. This is a color scheme I'm super comfortable with, but it's also out of this world gorgeous. Like, the shimmers are sublime, so they're aptly named. This is a gorgeous palette if you want to really treat yourself this year. And you might need to treat yourself this year because, you know, 2020 has been crazy. So go ahead, girl. If you have the means, Now is the time. Because I bought my palette when there was a sale, and I'd honestly only recommend you buy these crazy palettes during a sale because $130 is a lot, okay? Don't be desensitized like the way I am with all these eyeshadows coming out. Everything is super expensive, and I feel like I'm just,
oh, that's just how it is.
it's still expensive, okay? Think about it in terms of like places you could have traveled, and then it puts things in perspective. So anyways, I would only recommend you buy it during a sale. But if you do, you will not regret it because it's beautiful. My next eyeshadow palette recommendations are actually these mini Rare Beauty palettes. I have been really surprisingly obsessed with them. This is her first eyeshadow release ever, so that's been really exciting, like to test out the formula. And I can confirm the formulas are gorgeous. The formulas are so sublime. These palettes are so pretty. They're super pigmented. These are both all shimmer palettes, and while I know that that can scare some of you guys away, don't be scared by it, especially if you're a collector like me.
Girl, I know you have a ton of matte shadows
and matte palettes in your collection. Because of the nature of these palettes being smaller, they're actually perfect as companion palettes. Besides all of that, I've actually been able to use these as standalone eyeshadow looks. I've been loving doing a one and done shimmer all over the eyes because of the formula. I'm able to do that because these formulas have absolutely no fallout, which is insane and amazing for such a pigmented shimmer. I have really been loving the look of just doing one shimmer all over the lids. I feel like it really looks editorial, like an effortless glam. It's very model off duty. I've been obsessed with this bronzy color, and I have multiple times just done this bronzy color all over my eyes, and it's been so gorgeous, and it's just such a chocolatey, yummy brown, and the shadows are so pigmented. They feel super luxurious, high-end quality, but the value of these palettes is amazing. I believe they're only $25, and for the amount of colors you get and the quality feeling so high-end and luxurious for that price point is amazing. If you're also a neutral eyeshadow girl and you like the idea of doing colorful looks, but like, would you ever go out and buy an entire colorful palette? Probably not, because it's intimidating. You know you won't use every color, and you know it'll be like a once an every so often type of thing. There's something about it being in a tiny little palette that makes it a lot more inviting and welcoming to me. I have been experimenting with a lot more color just because of these, which is what I really love them for. I used this beautiful green shadow, and I did a green look, and by the way, it was like my first green look ever. I've never worn green eyeshadow before. I know. I'm usually a neutral gal. And then I love this purple shade. I wore this shade yesterday on Halloween. In general, like every color is so beautiful. I like how it's so rich and pigmented. And again, no fallout is amazing. I love a one and done shimmer look. It's just been so perfect. I love that effortless glam. I really love just how colorful these are, but like, even though these shades are colorful, there's something about them that's a little bit more toned down, muted, so that it's still wearable. For girls like me who are more used to doing neutral looks, still, you know, wore my green eyeshadow look on Zoom. I feel like it makes color very wearable. These palettes have just been really pushing me out of my comfort zone, and they've been really great for a girl like me who is a neutral eyeshadow wearer but wants to be pushed out of my comfort zone and wants to experiment every once in a while. So I really love these, and surprisingly, I think Confident Energy is my favorite right now just because of the bronzy, peachy tones I'm obsessed with, but I definitely want to play with them more. Formula is just amazing. It's pigmented and very buttery smooth, but no fallout at all. And I just love the fact that they're colorful but tiny, and they're great value. Like, they're reasonably priced. So I love that about it. Love these Rare Beauty palettes. I think Selena has a really great formula, so I'm really excited just to see like what eyeshadow palettes they come out with in the future. These have been really promising. Have just been so fun to experiment and play with every day. I love, you know, coming up with new glam Zoom looks. My last eyeshadow type of product are these Ilia liquid eyeshadows. Ilia liquid powder chromatic eye tints, and this is in the shade Sheen. I think a lot of people would like this shade. It's a very beautiful, neutral, bronzy shade. I've been wearing this a ton just on the day-to-day. It's been so easy just to swipe this on and be done with my eyeshadow. I love it as a one and done shadow look. In general, I'm just like obsessed with these type of products that make it so easy to have like a low maintenance, very easy, quick eye look, because sometimes, you know, I just want to swipe one color on my lids, blend out and feather out the edges, and be done. So it's been good for just being really quick and looking put together in a really quick time. But also, what I really love about these is the formula. I feel like with these cream liquid eyeshadows, even though they'll look really pretty on initial application, foundation, a lot of them don't last the best and they'll also crease throughout the day, but I found that these, because they're this unique liquid to powder formula, they really do last really well and they don't crease at all on me, which I really love about that. And I am combo skin and I do have oily eyelids, so keep that in mind, and they last really well. And so I've just been really loving it. I'm really excited to pick up other colors of these because I love the formula. I do feel like it completely dries down and just really stays put on your eyes, and I just love the ease of use. I love doing a one and done shadow look. I love this bronzy color, so it's just a great everyday eyeshadow formula. They're so good and they last so long, so definitely try it out if you're also looking for a one and done beautiful hero product. I have talked about this product before in a favorites video. If you're gonna get just one product of all the products I recommended today, please get this product because it is life-changing. I have talked about this before and I will rave about it again. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder, and I wear the shade Light. It is magic in a pan. It is so beautiful. I know it looks disturbingly stark white in the pan. It's just similar to like a translucent powder. It's white, but it'll blend out on your skin. It is so good for blurring my under eyes. It really erases any sort of texture or pores that I could possibly have under my eyes, and it just really blurs it out. It really feels like it's face tuning my under eyes. It makes it look so unreal and beautiful, and it also brightens it. That's why I love the white translucent color. This was my previous one. This is a huge deal for me, guys. I have a lot of under eye setting powders, so for me to pan it is a huge deal. Anything I pan, it means like I really truly love it, and it is holy grail, like the holiest of grails. This under eye powder is insane. Once I finished this, I think that was a month ago, I went and used all my other under eye powders that I had and that I thought I also loved. No, okay, I've never felt the absence of a makeup product more than when I was without this under eye powder. I kept trying all those other under eye powders and everything just looked so makeup-y under my eyes and thick and crepey and cakey, and I could just feel and see that there was like an under eye powder layer on my skin. But with this powder, it is so lightweight, yet a billion times more effective than those other powders because it's so smoothing and brightening and blurring. It is so stunning under the eyes. I can't live without it. Like I have to put it on every single day, or like anytime I put makeup on, I'm putting this powder on, especially if I put concealer on. So I really can't live without it. I was really missing this powder when I ran out, and none of the other powders could compare. So if you're gonna get just one product, I would really recommend you try out this blurring powder. It is just so beautiful, and I love the fact that it's so lightweight. Like I don't feel a layer under my eyes at all. Like I don't feel any powder on my eyes. It just feels blurred and nice. It is completely undetectable under my eyes, unclockable. It's so magically effective yet lightweight, and that is everything I want in makeup products in general, like foundation, powders. Yes, baby. This is Chef's Kiss, Oui French Kiss, Magnifique. Hi there. Just wanted to say my sincerest apologies to anyone out there who is French or knows anyone that is French, has ever actually even heard the French language, because that was disgusting. I've watched too much Emily in Paris. This powder is sublime, stunning. If you're gonna get just one product, this is the under eye powder that you need. It is life-changing, honestly. Next, let's just move on to Complexion products. This is the Ilia Nightlight Bronzing Powder, and I have the shade Drawn In. So for so long, I have lusted after this bronzer. After I saw it in a Kathleen Lights video, I was really looking forward to it because your girl loves bronzer. I definitely did not need another one, but I was really interested, just like the tone of this. The tone is really what makes it beautiful. I think the tone and the formula is just really what sets it apart. They really somehow nailed like the perfect neutral tone. It does not at all lean too orangey red, and also isn't at all like ashy cool toned. So somehow it's just your all around like jack of all trades, perfect creme de la creme type of bronzer. I love bronzing my entire face with it, and then I also am able to use this as a contour because it's a neutral shade. It might be replacing my Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer as my new holy grail all-time favorite matte bronzer. I don't know, I think so, because the formula of this, it's just so creamy, blendable. Like I love how it's just so smooth and easy. It does not ever skip on my skin or get patchy. I feel like a lot of matte bronzers can get a little patchy on my skin, so I just really love how easy and seamless this bronzer is. It blends out beautifully. If you're a beginner especially and you're looking for a good matte bronzer, I would go for this one. I think the fact that it's multifunctional is really appealing to me. Usually I prefer shimmery, sheeny bronzers, so it's a huge deal that I've been loving this matte bronzer so much because I've lived by a shimmery bronzer. It's been sold out for a while, but I checked just recently and it's still in stock, so I would definitely cop it during the sale if you can. I love it so much. Great bronzer. I definitely recommend it if you're a beginner. Just blends out so seamlessly. My next complexion product, this is the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush, and this is in the shade She's So LA, which actually happens to be my favorite. It is very neutral, bronzy tone. I'm obsessed with blushes that have bronzer tones that basically verge on being a bronzer themselves, and I know like this looks scarily dark and brown in the pan, especially like for someone my skin tone. Trust me guys, this is very similar to my all-time favorite nude sticks blush. I believe it's Sunkissed. It's very similar. Like I've found over time that my absolute favorite type of blushes are the blushes that have very bronzy, dusty, neutral tones. I just love it when your blush and bronzer works together and blends out very seamlessly, and you really can't tell like where your blush starts, where your bronzer start. It just all looks like one overall nicely tanned and baked face. So I really like that about this type of tone. And then for the Patrick Ta, I love the fact that it comes with a cream and a powder blush. I usually am like a hoe for great cream blushes, but I have found that of course, longevity wise, powder blushes are always longer lasting. So I like the fact that I can either mix and match, go for a powder one day, go for just cream if I'm going really natural. Just the versatility of this product I really enjoy. I also really love the shade Do We Know Her. I'll pop it up on the screen. It's a little bit more of a peachy shade. I also have that one, but She's So LA is definitely my favorite. I love anything that's very neutral, warm, toasty, bronzy, yummy, cinnamony goodness. I feel like this shade just really looks so good, and it just makes you look overall like beautifully tan. If all you've ever known are powder blushes and you've been wanting to dabble in cream blushes, would definitely try out these Patrick Ta duos because it really allows you to have a little bit of both, and I think it's a really great way for people to try it. I also love the packaging. Like I love that there's a little screen that covers the cream so no powder goes in it. Why doesn't every cream and powder palette product have this? Like it's genius. I love the versatility of this product, and I love the shade She's So LA. It makes you look so tan and juicy, and I really love it. But yeah, these Patrick Ta double take duos are so good. I would definitely try it out, and especially if you've been wanting to dip your toes into the cream blush world. So next I'm going to talk about this very briefly, but if I'm being totally honest, Rare Beauty as an entire brand and category is a recommendation. Like the concealer, the foundation, the liquid blushes, insane, sublime, the lip souffles, beautiful. I love everything from Rare Beauty as a brand, and if you've yet to try it, first of all, watch my video about it. I'll link it up in the cards. I go a lot more in depth about all the products, so it'll really help you narrow down like what you want to try if you only want to try like a select few items. But I genuinely love everything from the line, and I definitely think it's a brand that, you know, you should check out. And now that it's sale time, it's a perfect time to demo some of the products and really figure out and get a feel for the line and the brand. In particular, I really wanted to recommend the lip souffles. I've just been loving these so much and have not been able to put them down. I love the shade Brave. Like it's very fall and warm and juicy, but especially like right now, my current favorite is Fearless. I know it looks scary dark in the tube, but again, you can see in my video, it actually is a really neutral pink. Like I love the fact that Brave is warm like for this season in fall. I just know that Fearless will be all year round amazing because I like the fact that it's a little bit more neutral pink and it goes with so many looks. I just love how lightweight it is on my lips, and it has just been my favorite everyday lippy to go for. I really recommend this lip product formula. I know like you hear matte lips and you want to run away, but these are so far from like the matte lips that we used to know. They're very like souffle, light, whipped type of formula. It feels like you're wearing nothing on the lips, but yet the pigmentation is just so beautiful, and you can also like blot it out. You can really customize the look of them. Try the shade Fearless. Fearless and Brave are my absolute favorites. Overall, Rare Beauty as a brand, try them out. Now is the time, okay? It's a sale. You'll for sure fall in love with at least 2 or 3 products because they're so good. I love Rare Beauty, and especially those lip souffles have been my go-to for every day. I just love the way they wear, even when they do kind of fade throughout the day as I'm eating. They just fade beautifully, and so in general, I just haven't been able to put those lip souffles down. They're just so beautiful. On the topic of lip products, guys, so I have basically found my all-time favorite favorite lip gloss ever. It's actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. This is the Tower 28 Milky Glosses. These are the Shine On Lip Jellies. I think this is a milky lip jelly, and this is in the shade Cashew, which is my all-time favorite shade of these glosses. But in general, this is my #1 favorite gloss of all time. Shade, formula, all of that, hands down best gloss of all time, which I know is a lofty statement, but guys, you have to understand, I am not a gloss girl. Like, I've never been a gloss girl. I used to always complain about, like, I hate the fact that they're sticky. Sometimes I even feel like they dry out my lips and then my hair just gets stuck all over it. I didn't like how high maintenance it felt, but no, this lip gloss changed the entire game for me. I think they are so beautiful. They actually feel comfortable on my lips. If anything, it almost feels like it moisturizes my lips when I put them on. The formula is just the best lip gloss formula ever. I don't know how the creator of Tower 28 did it, but she created the best formula of lip gloss of all time. Not to mention, it's a clean formula. I just love how comfortable these are. First of all, the aesthetic is so beautiful. I love that it's also called like a milky gloss. I don't know, something about that just sounds so yummy. And I think it definitely lives up to it. Like, it really feels milky. I'll reapply right now. It is just so gorgeous. First of all, the tone is everything. It's such a pretty neutral rosy brown nude. This is my ideal everyday lip color, and I never thought my everyday lippy would be a gloss, but this gloss is just so comfortable, so beautiful, and the shine is unreal, like out of this world. Beautiful, and I just think that these lip glosses, if you don't like lip glosses, try this out and you will be shooketh the way I was. I am now a lip gloss girl, or I don't want to say I'm a lip gloss girl because I'm really just
a Tower 28 Cashew lip gloss girl.
This is the only thing I want on my lips. I've been wearing it nonstop every day, and I've been really surprised by that because I would usually much rather go for like a matte lip every day, but I can't stop wearing this. Your lips just look so plump and juicy, and it's so comfortable. Like, my hair does not get stuck in it. It does not feel sticky at all. It almost feels nourishing and moisturizing, and it's still so glossy. Like the gloss, the shine, the formula, you can't beat it. And the tone. This is the prettiest nude lip gloss ever. Like, this is my ideal nude. A beautiful rosy brown nude is my ideal everyday lip color. Even the experience of reapplying it is enjoyable. It matches with every single look. It beats all other glosses. It beats Fenty. I know, controversial, but this is a million times better than Fenty lip gloss in my opinion. I definitely want to check out other shades, and probably will during the sale, but I just know, like, the shade Cashew, holy grail. Best lip gloss in the entire world. Best lip gloss of all time, Tower 28 Cashew. So I'm finally on to my very last product. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Party all night, stay all day. That was really unnecessary for me to read. This is the travel size, and it has a really pretty rose gold cap that I lost, but just imagine it with a rose gold cap, or I'll pop a picture up. But basically, this is a long-lasting setting spray. It extends the wear of my makeup so well, yet it makes your face just look so beautiful. I don't know if this is a placebo effect, but I really feel like when I spray this makeup setting spray on, it almost like smooths my skin. Like, it puts that one last smoothing filter over everything and really just makes you look airbrushed, as it claims. I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but I really feel like when I spray this on my face, I just feel like it's the perfect last step and really just seals everything in and makes you look so airbrushed and flawless. In my opinion, it is the best long wear setting spray ever. I like the fact that it really does work in terms of increasing longevity, but it also lets my skin breathe. Like, my skin does not feel tight at all. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It leaves like a really pretty airbrushed look. Like, I swear that it kind of smooths out my skin somehow. I have really been loving this as a last step. If you've been looking for a setting spray that actually makes your makeup last, usually I just go for like the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist because I just like something that refreshes my makeup. But when I want to go for a makeup setting spray that is actually a setting spray and will keep my makeup in place, this is the one. Love this setting spray, love it so much, and that's my last recommendation, guys. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations. I really thought about all of this. I went through all of my list. I didn't want to just tell you guys exciting new products, but I wanted to really give you some good tried and true ones as well. Ones that have lasted through the test of time and have still been amazing and stand out in my collection. So in general, I just really hope you enjoy these recommendations. Please comment below what your you're eyeing in this sale. If you've started, please let me know what you got, what you copped already, and also what you're interested in getting. The sale is still going on this entire week, and honestly, I'm gonna be tempted. Please like and comment on this video. You know I love chatting with you all down in the comments. I love hearing about what you're interested in. Genuinely, my favorite part is engaging with you guys down in the comments. It's just so fun, and I feel like I'm just talking with a bunch of my friends about makeup, and I just really love to discuss all things VIB sale with you all. So definitely chat with me down in the comments, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on that bell notification. Your girl is back. She's serving content and she is ready to just get back out there. So definitely stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching, and au revoir, friends.
Des mots dont tu les joues.